from UCI, who actually did end up beating them out. So a lot of just solidified league talent on the West Coast, or rather Western region here tonight. So it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, I mean, there's, again, like you said, so much talent, and we're actually going to see some of that on display today, right now, as we see picks and bans up on the screen. There is Kha'Zix being taken away. UC Irvine banning that one out from Boyru. And then there's Rise also being taken away from Zud. This one's interesting. So, JV, I mean, we've been focusing on Varsity the entire season. But it is nice to give light onto some of the JV teams, because, again, they potentially could be the future, and competitive is competitive no matter what. One of these players, could just get really good, go on past collegiate. I like seeing things like this show their roots. All these teams have something to prove here as we get the first round of bans underway, almost finished. Zach being taken away. Actually, a lot of targeted bans, not really meta picks this time around.
No, it looks like for the side of UCI here, they really want to focus the top half of the map for UBC. Want to get them out taken away. Of course, that is UCI on the blue side, UBC on the red side for any of those who may be confused. So looking like with the AD picks that are not really AD, some bot lane focus coming out from UBC, rather, with just the Caitlyn and the Rakan, both taking that one from Russian guy and Not Baka. Not Baka's just going to opt for the Xayah immediately, says, hey, it's such a strong pick, we want it. Meanwhile, you take a look at the bans over on the side of UCI. They did not want the top half having really anything that's going to help them snowball too heavily. So Mira Knight and Boyru, they're both going to be on maybe some secondary picks. Kaisa locked in, out and away. We saw it banned earlier today, is picked up this time, and now Lee Sin for Boyru. Pretty aggressive early jungle start.
Yeah, very much so. I'm actually anxious to see this this Lee Sin picked up here. I haven't casted too much. He got some decent buffs on this patch. I haven't seen him too much, or was it last patch? It was one of these patches, one of these last two.
Very recent, maybe 8.6 or 7.
Yeah, I actually don't remember. It's irrelevant, though. He did get some buffs, and I haven't seen him as much, but that's because there's just so many, tanky junglers. Tanky junglers is the big thing, which is why we see Multitasker taking out that Trundle right now, locking him in. We've been seeing that on Varsity quite a bit. He's just great at ganking at all levels, and then also destroys tanks. But that is something that UBC, they may be privy to, because, or at least ready for, because they're not really, they're not picking tanks. So Subjugate may lose some of its some of its value. The Trundle may lose some of its value if there's no tanks to shred out.
Well, so this surprises me a little bit. Swain ban from the red side, no huge surprise. In the second round of ban phase, maybe a little bit more surprising. They let that one through. They weren't as worried about it. It's a mid laner and a top laner apiece, maybe 1.5 mid laners and 2.5 top laners if you consider the Swain flex there. But either way, now with that, we're going to be looking to see what they're going to choose. I would not be surprised to see the top lane pick coming out from UBC here, whatever Mirror Knight wants to run in with. So Shen, it's pretty safe. He can pick it blind. He's not too worried. This is where that Trundle is going to become a little bit better of a pickup for you there, as well into the Shen Taric. There's a lot of shielding potential. You want that tank shredding on your team. Otherwise, now we have to pick the blind mid lane for UCI. Gnar into that Shen. Not going to be the worst thing in the world. It's not a matchup that really feels too swingy or too one-sided. I know that really Gnar is just going to look to keep pushing on Shen in. Gnar looks to do it with just about everybody. Yeah. And Shen's going to want to make use of the taunt. Really farm minions if he gets pressed under tower too hard. And wouldn't this be interesting? A Corki perchance for Zud. If he locks that one in. Blind, it's a relatively safe pick. Obviously open to some counterplay. And from the side of UBC here, I wouldn't be surprised to see something heavy in the AP damage coming out, just for whatever the rest of the composition has to bring to the table.
Yeah, it definitely needs AP on the side of UBC. UC Irvine, they drafted a very mid-power spike comp. You have Xayah, you have Corki, Gnar, all of them, Trundle. They're all very great in the mid-game. Someone said great. Corki, definitely great. Xayah, great. And then you have Gnar and Trundle to back that one up. Thresh is going to be, Thresh, whatever Thresh does in the early, mid, and late game. Same as Mirror Knight Shin. I do like that. Shin can actually stay underneath the turret. It's a very safe pickup in the top lane whenever you're blind picking him. Farm underneath the turret, that's no problem. And then you have Stand United to make yourself useful throughout the entire game after level 6. Being able to throw that even on the bot side to get some ganks in or to stop some ganks. Very nicely picked, nice pickup by Mirror Knight. I do like that one. Kaisa, I'm anxious to see that one. Usually we see Kaisa banned out. Kai'Sa is a big powerhouse right now, and for good reason. She got her a buff, not to mention a range increase as well, but also she has a very odd build path, but it works out so well because she scales off of AP, AD, and attack speed. So very anxious to see how Makoto takes that one. And then in the mid lane, rounding that out, Cassiopeia. That's a nice mid to late game power spike as well for UBC.
Yeah, I feel like both of these teams really knew what they wanted to accomplish with their composition when they came in today. Obviously, the Kai'Sa, a high priority for the likes of the University of British Columbia. They want to get that one on Makoto. He's a very strong player from what I could gather just on the independent op.gg research I was doing beforehand, which I know we can't read too heavily into, of course, but it's not going to stop me from trying. Right. Not for lack of effort. Whereas I feel like on UBC, they've drafted, especially in mid and bot lanes, two champions that can really just put the game on their shoulders. I think Boyru as well, and Lee Sin has a chance to kind of run away with it all or really just facilitate that. More so on the side then of UCI, where I'm looking at a team that really wants to work together to accomplish these objectives. Corky with the teleport, that's going to be something that's pretty standard. Gnar as well, so we could see them split for the 1-3-1 in the potential split push, or we could see, a very strong rally, just the 5-man traditional. I mean, this is a team that would love to run at you, get in your face, and just take that full 5-on-5 fight. Maybe not into the likes of the Tarek and Shen. Could be a little tougher, but not the craziest thing in the world. Either way, I'm seeing a lot of individual dependence on the side of UBC, whereas the side of UCI looked to be having a composition that demands team play to a T.
Yeah, very much so. Anytime you take Lee Sin on a team, you always have to count on that individual Lee Sin play. He's not a very team-friendly person. Of course, he can set up plays for his team, but other than that, he doesn't really offer that much, like Trundle does with his pillar and subjugate. Lee Sin, you can do the ward hop and then kick enemy back into your team. But I mean, that takes a very special occasion, and it's also very limited with how much you can do with that. He's also great at dueling, but that doesn't really do much with 5v5. So UBC, they need to work very carefully with their team comp, especially, I mean, you can pick out people quite well. You have Kai'Sa, you have Cassiopeia and Lee Sin. You can pick out people pretty well, but yeah, UCI, they have the big team fight comp, and that's going to be really powerful, like I said, especially about 20-25 minutes when Corky just starts flying off with that Triforce.
Yeah, I mean, he can definitely get in a position to just really put the entire game on his own back, go crazy, off to the races, and then absolutely end up in a position to slam things out. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see how this all transpires. But before we do get into this game, we have a little bit of information to share with you all about the CSL and some of our lovely sponsors. So we appreciate you sticking around and listening. If you want to get a little bit more involved with CSL, keep up with what we're doing. Great way to, get your school more involved in the next year's esports, or, come around, play some of the games on CSL game nights with some of our staff or casters. Discord is a great way to do all that and to keep track of what we're doing. And hit !Discord in our Twitch chat there. That'll get you hooked up with all the information you need. Social medias, we're on Facebook and Twitter, twitter.com/CSLLOL for the league-specific content, or twitter.com/CStarLeague, facebook.com/CStarLeague. Keep up with everything that's going on there. Things like the Huntington Beach Invitational, or not the Invitational, the finals, rather, for JV1. Things like CSGO and Dota as well is where all that's culminating. Other events in the mix as well. Want to give a shout out to Twitch. Nothing but gratitude for the largest streaming platform in all of collegiate esports or all of esports in general, competitive, to support our collegiate endeavors from things like PAX East and West. CSL wouldn't be what we are today without their continued help and support. So be on the look for ways to get involved with Twitch. Twitter.com/Twitch, Facebook.com/Twitch, Twitch.tv. You can also find us on YouTube. If you don't get a chance to watch everything live, if there's a little bit of action that you feel like, man, this, that, are not going to be able to get in on everything, all VODs are clipped, capped, and in exceedingly high quality on our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/user/CStarLeague, same as the social medias from before. Last but not least, we want to give a shout out to Juice Battery. Have you ever been in one of those situations where the chips are down, you're about to take that last shot, and then your controller dies? Well, you can prevent that by getting batteries that last 6 times as long and charge twice as fast. That's Juice Battery for you. Head on over to juicebattery.com to learn a little bit more about that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude all of our lovely plugs, sponsors, things you need to know about some great people here that help keep C-Star League online.
And amazingly, we're still in there. Amazingly, we're still in loading screen, but we finally made it over.
Yeah, we try to buffer that some.
Yeah. We finally made it into the game, and yeah, we do. That was an abnormally long loading screen, but we are in game number 1. Best of 3. Remember that. Winner of the best of 3 goes on to Huntington Beach. This is exciting for both teams. Gonna see how it ends up here as the game is still taking a little longer to get into here. Load up everything of the sort. They just want to take their time on this one.
I like it. Make sure everyone's here, ready to go.
Yeah, no problem. As we do finally get into game here, as it looks like Zud, he's still sticking in base. We're gonna see if he.
Yeah, he bought already, so.
Zud has? Does he?
No, the dematerializer. I'm sorry. Okay.
No,
I just saw the full slot.
There it is.
Now he's purchased.
Yeah, no worries.
So dematerializer on Corky. That's going to be, if he holds on to that, we've seen, actually some people keep a hold of that pretty late into the game for around, the cannon minions when the split push comes, for things like Baroned up minions, or particularly now Banner of Command, now that's back in the meta. I'm interested to see if he as a split push threat continues to hold on to that throughout.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, I think we've seen it. It is a good idea if you think your enemy is going to go Banner Command and you want to take away that threat of that big cannon minion, because again, the cannons did get buffed. So the cannon minions got buffed. So Banner Command is actually very advantageous to have whenever you have a cannon wave going toward the enemy. And a minion dematerializer completely shuts that strategy out, like 100%. But at the same time, it takes up an item slot, so you have to really, kind of give and take with that one. Yeah, you could have an item. You could have the advantage if your enemy team gets the Baron or has a Banner Command, but at the same time, you kind of want an item there. And, that's sometimes more important, especially Control Wars. As might be seeing some cheeky play down here in the bot.
Yeah, now this is actually clever from Notbaka and Russian Guy. I like what they're doing. So they went in late. Actually, both members went in late to deny the information on where the junglers started. They let the wave start it out. So there's no real way of telling whether or not the opposing jungle for either team started on their top side or their bot side. And that level of information denial can be so critical in this kind of game.
Yeah, very much so. Setting yourself up, or trying to anticipate the jungler in the early game is one of the most important things you can do. Information is your friend, and oftentimes can be the difference between winning and losing a laning phase. So, yeah, very nicely played by UCI. I don't know if wards, I don't think wards were actually thrown over onto the jungler routes. So they're going to be mirroring each other, but you have to wonder if they know that they're going to be mirroring each other, because again, UCI looked like they may have started bot, but now we have Multitasker meeting up Boyru here.
Yeah, they're going to ping one another out. They're very aware of the situation, what's going on, but the action is obviously cross-map right now. Boyru trying to get Multitasker in a little bit of trouble. There's a summoner heal, actually, and First Blood does go down. Luminous uses heal to keep Boyru alive, and Zud was not able to rotate in time. Multitasker not going to be feeling too great about that one, but look, Russian Guy roamed up without really anybody there to help. He was the support, but he needed the support, and it's two, I want to say sloppy kills given over early by UCI here.
Yeah, very much so. Kills are kills, and that is for sure UBC. They have the advantage, and that was just, yeah, that was essentially UBC. They didn't really make plays. They just waited for one to fall in their lap there, so props to them on that one. Now Mirror Knight, he is gonna try to duel out Frozen here on the top side, but as a Gnar, that is so hard. You get that hypercharge, and that does so much damage onto Mirror Knight, so he's gonna just back off on that one. But yeah, they need to rethink the rotations on that one, especially the bot side. There was no reason Russian Guy should have been there.
Yeah, I feel like he thought, hey, look, Zud and I can really make a difference here, but the issue was that he was in, Zud was out. It was a little bit of a mismatch, and they did not agree with one another on what to do or how to process that. And unfortunately, that's to the tune of 1 kill on Boyru and 1 kill on Luminous. Cassiopeia and Lee Sin, 2 champions that you really don't want to get too hard snowballed out.
Not at all.
If you're UCI, that is. If you're UBC, you definitely want to get them snowballed out.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, Lee Sin, we did talk about how he's, oh, well, this is great timing. That was a pause. So we did talk about how Lee Sin, he's not very team fight friendly, but he does snowball. He's not as I mean, he does make himself quite useful when he snowballs, just like I wouldn't say as much as a Kane or as much as a Kha'Zix, but he does have quite a bit of a power spike if he can get that going early. And something like You know, obviously having 1 kill and a 1 assist at 4 minutes 20 seconds. Haha, Kappa. That is going to help him out. Right. Help him out quite a bit. And you have to wonder, I wonder if they actually, they wouldn't pause at that exact time.
I am 100% convinced that it's entirely an accident. These are college students, they are not 12.
If they're college students, what are you talking about? I was making jokes like that in college. At least my friends were, but they were all stoners, so you know that's legal now. I can actually say that. That's actually I'm in Vegas. That's definitely legal.
Yeah, you're allowed to admit.
I feel like this is the second time I've talked about the legality of marijuana in my state on stream.
You know what? This is potentially why we should look to eliminate pauses.
Yeah, very much so. As we do see, I want to go ahead and go on to Boyru real quick, because one of his snowball tactics is getting a Tiamat into a Ravenous Hydra very quickly. He already went back with that 1 kill, which I think it was technically first blood, so he got that first blood and that assist. Went back, got that Tiamat. That means he's going to be clearing camps extremely quickly. That is something that Lee Sin loves doing. He doesn't like staying in the jungle. Lee Sin likes to clear camps, go gank, because he's such a great ganker. He can, stick to people very well and catch them off guard, especially at level 6, kicking them out of position away from their own turret. That is going to be advantageous. And Boyru, he's on a great start for that right now. UBC, they're looking good, but they need to really capitalize on that one because, again, UCI, they have the team fight. Boyru, even if he is snowballing, as long as UCI can outlast that and just kind of take advantage of having Lee Sin in the enemy jungle, it is going to play in the favor of UCI. Granted, if they don't, give up more kills and miss position like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to need to look to play it safe out from this one because the team composition coming out now from UBC, it's not necessarily a pick comp, but it is pick oriented, just especially with Boyru in the jungle there. He really solidifies the identity of that composition, but you take into the account Mirror Knight on the Shen, how burst heavy Luminous is going to be on that Cassiopeia as well, and then just whatever Makoto and Regis are going to be able to do there, or Ruggis, I believe he said it was pronounced Ruggis, are going to be able to make happen throughout. So top to bottom should be an interesting run of play. I want to take a look at the gold here. Boyru sitting on about 1,800, similar for Luminous, 1,815 for that guy. Boyru's actually the lead at 1,841.
That's huge.
If you take a look at the rest of the gold scores here, I don't know if we can get that on your screen during the pause or not.
Got it.
Yeah, cool. I didn't know what because I had it up when it was paused, so I don't know if it can actually change it on your end or not while it's through the pause. But everyone else is sitting around the 1,300 mark for the potential carries here. So yeah, we talk about the Tiamat's a big deal in terms of getting snowballed, but this is going to be absolutely insane as far as just snowballing that advantage out. Keep in mind the gold now for Cassio on the other side of things for Luminous hasn't been spent yet. He's actually just going to feel really good about staying out in this lane, continuing to do #JustSneck things, and be an absolute terror on first back because he's getting near to the point where any of the potentially very large first component items are going to be pretty well within his grasp.
Yeah, Luminous, of course, on that Cassiopeia wants to go back and pick up the Tear of the Goddess first, more than likely. Going to be backing pretty soon. Actually, probably should have backed after he got that kill.
You want to start stacking early, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Stack that as fast as possible. And it's going to be a little bit delayed, but at the same time, he's going to stay up and farm stay even with farm with Zud, considering Zud does have a teleport. That is something that he's going to have to take advantage of in that mid lane and be able to keep ahead of Luminous. But at the same time, Luminous, like I said, needs to go back. Kind of needs to give up some farm at this point because you want to stack that, like you said, that Tear of the Goddess as early as possible. Other than that, there's not too much as far as itemization yet because it's only 4 minutes into the game. But we do see Russian guy not quite relying on his, on his auto attack prowess to be able to steal away or take a minion with a relic shield. Gonna go opt for the coin, but that does mean that you're gonna be able to just kind of sit back, have a very passive lane on that bot side for UCI, which is something they, at this point, especially with Russian guy going up to that mid lane and just dying, that's something that they want. They can't get aggressive on that bot side because, again, there's already kind of down experience. Russian guy, he's level 3. So is Ruggis, but at the same time, he's going to be hitting a little bit more of a, hitting that level spike faster than Russian guy. It's not huge for support, but having a having a a Taric ult is going to be very huge and something that UCI, the bot lane, they need to respect.
Yeah, they want to make this one out. So both teams are starting to say they're ready. They've checked to see if we're ready in the chat. I don't know. They don't. We're on the 3-minute delay, so I hope they're not waiting to hear confirmation from us. I'm going to go ahead and let them know that we're bouncing back into things from our end. But yeah, no, look, it just unpaused, so we're in good shape there. Just keeping track of it all. So
yeah, very good. I'm really glad they didn't wait, because I was honestly about to throw that over to a commercial break, but as we get back into
plenty.
it. Yeah. There's a lot to talk about, of course.
Well, we'll see how it does all unfold. Bot lane looking to be favoring the side of UCI just a little bit here. No huge surprises. Makoto taking the Doran Shield in lane, opting for a little bit more of a defensive build on the front end. Just makes sense with the scaling ratios that Kai'Sa is going to be able to bring to the board, so nothing too wild there. Meanwhile, on the top lane, there's a pretty nice wave pushing. It's going to buy a little freedom for Frozen Quayla to get around, potentially do some tricks, or just keep shoving in Mirror Knight. This is kind of what we said would be the case, where they'd be continuing to just push out that top lane, keep Shen on the back foot, and farming under tower. Certainly Shen's happy to farm under tower, but if Frozen Quayla can turn that into CS advantage and, really more so CS denial for the side of Mirror Knight, he's going to be feeling pretty good. That almost took a beating, but he's back out of that one okay. No summoners burned, just a health bar.
Yeah, and that's one of the good things about having a Lee Sin. Yeah, he's very great at dueling. Mentioned it numerous times. He's so fast at depleting your health bar as well. Landing that Q, and it does more damage as at the lower the health bar is of the enemy. So if you can manage to throw that Q at point blank range, do a little bit of damage, and then throw it back, get the resonating strike back, he can actually do a huge amount of damage. And of course, couple that with his Dragon Rage kick. Boyru, Lee Sin specifically, he has a surprising amount of damage, especially early on, but that's just as to the whole thing. He's great at dueling, but again, team fights, that's where games sometimes kind of takes a different turn for Lee Sin. But so far, laning phase, it is his domain, and he's doing very well thus far.
This is where we do expect to see him shine. No ganks come through too heavily yet. Obviously, there was that skirmish around the mid lane. Not really considered a gank, since it was just kind of a run-in. But all in all, looks like he's setting up for some vision around the dragon. Does secure the Rift Scuttler, has the control ward as well along that back wall of the dragon pit. Gonna mean that perhaps Mountain Drake, well within the eyes of this UBC team, something they might want to take out and away. We'll see how heavily it may be contested. They are pinging Multitasker to be on the top side. They believe that that is the case. Pretty smart, actually. Boyru was able to check the... oh, hang on. We may have a fight. Mirror Knight's going to be out of this one, okay. So Boyru was able to check the vision plant to see the entire bot half of the jungle. And then he checked over by the chicken, knew that Multitasker wasn't there. So he was either at base or more than likely on the top side of the map. So it's really good heads-up jungle. Just presence of mind coming out from Boyru here.
And we see he might be taking advantage of that one. If he can catch out Multitasker in the jungle, Boyru will have the advantage. He has the item advantage as well. It's just, he has level 6 advantage also, so he's not going to be able to catch him out, as Multitasker is going to go back into his jungle, but there's really nothing there for Multitasker. Has to make his long trip down to the bot side. Boyru, let's see how he reacts to that one. I want to see more invading coming out from Boyru, because there's not much in the way of ganking coming out at the moment. There's the invade. Yeah, he's going to come out. He has the ward placed already, so for some information, he's pinging the red buff. I think they have it timed, considering if you start at the same time as the enemy jungler, you more than likely have their respective buff timed. We're going to see Boyru here. He's not
Multitasker does get his buff out and away. You're right to mention that he does need to be pressing the invade a little bit harder. When you have an advantage on Lee Sin, one of the worst things you can do is just sit there and wait for the game to go your way. That's not how Lee Sin works. You find an advantage, then you keep pushing that advantage, and you keep pushing it, and you create these little pressure points. This could be what we're talking about. It's a flash, but he does not get the inset kick. He thinks he can dive anyway, and does get Zud within an inch of his life, but takes a beating from the tower in return. So not quite the successful gank he was hoping for. Luminous, perchance not on the same page, and now this actually could cripple any chance that UBC wants for this dragon fight. Multitasker still very healthy, hanging around. We'll see if they opt to try to press this advantage or just get the vision down.
And he's level 6 now, so he does have Subjugate. It's not huge onto Boyru, Luminous, or Makoto, but it still is something. Helps him keep himself alive, so He is going to be healthy, and actually just go ahead and go back, pick up some items, maybe go back and pick up or set up for this Drake. As look at top lane though, I really like what Frozen is doing here in the top side. He's actually pushing Mirror Knight so hard that if Mirror Knight wants to go use Stand United, he has to make a decision. He's going to be losing a lot on that top side. Look how much farm he's actually up. He's almost 20 farm up over Mirror Knight right now. So if he ends up using Stand United and not getting anything for it, then that's going to be a huge loss for the top side of UBC. Frozen Qualia, I think is actually the name there. Doing very well on that top side, pressuring Mirror Knight, and keeps him around half health the entire time. So even if he does go use Stand United, he's not going to be a full health of Shin, and may actually end up giving his life over.
Certainly something to keep in consideration there for Mirror Knight. He does have to be careful when using that. Stand United can be such a powerful tool on a team with this many repositions between the Lee Sin and then Kaisa as well on Makoto that you can really just dive bomb with the backline Shen if things go your way. Obviously still strong as a get out of jail free card for a particular team member in peril, of course. So all in all, it's something that they're going to love to keep in their back pocket, but you're right. Frozen Qualia, they're really pushing this one in, making sure that it doesn't go to waste, or rather the pressure doesn't go to waste if Stand United does come down, because so often a Shen's goal is to shove out the lane. Hang on, we haven't engaged here in the bot side. The Taric ultimate coming down. The Ignite is down on the Makoto. The Invincibility is there at the right time. Stand United down as well. Now here's Multitasker. Teleport. Regis gets Russian Guy. They're going to continue to find more. Makoto gets the first kill for the fight now of UCI. They're trying to find Mirror Knight. He is tanky, and I think he should be out of this one okay. So it's a 1-for-1. Makoto taken out when Russian Guy,
going back.
The other casualty. Yeah, it's a flash out, actually. They don't want to get taunted up because they know that Boyru is on the run down. He walks straight through that Rift Scuttler vision buff. So, all in all, good play defensively now from the side of, well, really both schools. I mean, it was aggressed on now by Not Baka and Russian Guy in a fair 2v2 in the bot lane, Makoto and Regis. It was responded then by both top laners with the teleports coming down when and how they did. So, really, sorry, not the top laners, Zud. Corky there in the mid lane for UCI. So 1-for-1 each. Slight favor, I feel like, going over towards UBC here, because Regis got the kill on the Russian Guy. So killing the support, yes, it's something. But then Not Baka got his team's kill onto Makoto, which is actually going to help build up a little bit of that AD versus AD advantage.
And all the while that was happening, there was actually a Drake being picked up. Boyru took advantage of no vision around the Drake pit, so he was actually able to pick up the first Drake of the game for his team, University of British Columbia, that being the Mountain Drake. So that's going to be something that they're going to definitely use coming into the mid to late game when they start sieging. We have more engaged on the bot side.
Yeah, no, it's another run down. It's a 3 versus 3. Boyru is there. He trades out with Not Baka. I'm sorry. No, Makoto. Not Baka is down. Now Boyru dead as well. That's going to be a double kill coming out. Makoto in a lot of good shape here. And Russian Guy, the last one alive.
Oh!
But look at this. Are we going to see a 1v1 kill in the top side? Mirror Knight had to flash out of that one. Frozen Qualia popped back in with his flash to try to make something happen here. And it's a slight advantage again going UBC. They're creating these fights and then really just weathering them out. So that's going to be the first death for Not Baka. Makoto finding himself a double kill this time around. That's pretty huge to get this Kaisa coming online.
Yeah, very much so. Kaisa is one of the strongest ADCs right now, and very snowbally. Can do quite a bit of damage if you give her the assets, and that's the same with Boyru as well. Luminous also. UBC, they're looking very good right now as far as their carries getting the kills. Of course, the Taric does have one, but that's not really any that's not gonna hurt, make or break anything. Overall, Makoto with that double kill, looking very good. Actually coming back with a Death's Dance already, so looking to have one item completed and try to get the advantage over Not Baka. Of course, Not Baka does have the Essence Reaver to their name, so we're gonna see who can out damage on the bot side, because of course Xayah does do quite a bit of damage in her own right and has that get out of jail free card with that R. Very anxious to see how that matchup is going to go. Makoto though on the Kaisa, and of course Boyru. Speaking of Boyru.
Ooh, yeah, he wants to find Zud. They just push him off the tower this time around. Sonic Wave doesn't connect, and so Zud gonna feel a little bit better about pushing this one on up, especially with Multitasker at his back. They know that can be Okay, multitasker, knowing that where there's a Lee Sin, there's likely wards. So clears that one out, and now Russian guy, actually. Nice play to get Boyru off of him. Does not connect with the hook. It's a great play, but the box comes down, and Boyru smack in the middle of it. Doesn't care, uses the Sonic Wave to get in. And now look at this. Qualia is here on the Gnar. He goes Mega at the right time. The Terracult, though, stalling this one out. There's the Petrifying Gaze as well. Means not Baka's in a little bit of trouble. Has to get out of this one, but Luminous is fast and on the trail. The poison setting in, and that's a killing spree for the mid laner of UBC. They find 7 kills total, 2 in that last fight onto the bot lane yet again of UCI. That's their 5th collective death together out of 7. They've been the punching bag thus far for UBC, and now as they look to transition to the mid game and the mid lanes, UCI needs to find an answer.
I don't think they're finished, though.
Yeah, no, it looks like Luminous hopping out of this one. I think they're all on the retreat. They're done. They just don't know it yet. We might see another kill coming out of this one. But by and large, they've all decided, you know what, guys? Let's rest, let's catch our breath, and get back at it. Meanwhile, Makoto in the bot lane, finding first tower of the game. Nice 650 gold buff. And that's going to feel pretty good for the side of UBC, who's taking a pretty commanding lead 15 minutes into this game.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing. I mean, there's so much team fighting going on that you actually don't need to forget about objectives. Those are the most important things in this game right now. You have 5 kills up. Don't worry about getting any more kills. Whenever Boyru landed that Sonic Wave, I thought we were going to see some Lee Syndrome there. Have him go in, but he did not. I'm glad he held on to that one. Got the, cooler head prevailed for himself there, because you don't need any more kills. UBC, they are completely fine right now, being 5 kills up. Of course, you can get more. That's always good, but the turrets are what really matter. The dragons really matter. Of course, Baron as well. You need those. Good on Makoto to just split off, knowing that UCI focus on that mid lane. Makoto, he can clear waves so fast as a Kai'Sa, and then push down a turret very quickly as well with pew pew pews to get a nice amount of auto attack damage coming out with that Death Stance already.
You know, Makoto has seemed to me to be the objective-minded player of this UBC crew, and if he's not the objective mind, he's certainly the manifestation of it. We'll get to that in a second. Luminous actually get hit up by the pillar there, and he's alone in this one. They may find the kill pretty quickly. He's running out the back end, and a flash in from Multitasker means he's shut down. Probably wanted to give that one over to Nafaka, but they will take it on the hands of the Trundle. Meanwhile, Kai'Sa, not a big team fighter, hanging out in the top side, already resetting on this push. So we'll see what comes of this one, because Boyru, hanging around on the side as well, wants to get in here. Makoto trying to get in onto Russia guy. There's the box. Flash out of. Teleport's coming down. Can they get in now onto him? Yes, Boyru goes down. Teleport is canceled. And Multitasker and Qualia are just going in for Makoto. They're gonna find it too.
Oh my god.
They die in the process, and yes! Makoto somehow living by the skin of his teeth. Not yet. Baka has something to say about it. And then Red Geese, the last one alive. They have to be very careful how they juggle this tower aggro, because a single shot could do any of them in, but not Baka with the shield. Means the double kill comes out for UCI, and they put their stamp back on this game.
Makoto could have gotten out of that the entire time. Makoto did not need to be caught. He was actually coming off of the tower and then just sat in the brush. He could have easily just walked back to his own tower, but I think he was trying to wait on his own teammates, hoping he wouldn't be spotted out. But he got caught out, and that just kind of tumbled domino effect in favor of UCI. Not able to get a turret off of that, but still swinging the gold advantage, or I guess closing the gold gap with those 3 kills. It was an extended team fight overall, but had quite a few kills there overall, and now not too much separating either of these teams, I should say, as the Drake is up, and this is actually started once again by Boyru. There's still no vision by UCI on this pit.
They don't seem to prioritize the Drake. They're not as worried about it. And so it will slide by the wayside. Infernal Drake, the next one on the docket. The hardest one to ignore if you are any League of Legends player. Basically at all. Everyone loves the Infernal Drake. So we'll see what that comes down to. Only a mere 1,000 gold and a little bit of change separating these two teams. We'll see, though, if Boyru can get in onto Zud. Does an unfortunate time for Multitasker to come in as well. And this is going to be a double kill coming out for the mid laner of UBC. Not at all prepared from UCI. And that's going to cost them a tower in the mid lane. Now, they did find one on the top side, but they have to rotate quickly in hopes to defend, because 5 members of a very angry UBC are here. And I think this tower is not long for this world. They want to find Regis there. They're trying to get in onto him, but Can they get the knockback? Yes, there is the Gnar back into things. The box comes down as well. It's good defensive play coming out from UCI. Is it too aggressive from UBC? Question for the philosophers. In the meantime, looks like both schools will look to back off. It's a slight advantage yet again from UBC, but the overstay costs the life of their support and makes things a little bit more into a gray area. It's still a 1-tower advantage. It's still 3 kills in their favor. And taking away this jungle is going to mean Boyru is going to be feeling a little bit better about this.
Yeah, very much so. You want to take every advantage you can, and taking the buffs away from your enemy is one of the biggest advantages whenever there's no other objectives on the map. You're not in position for Rift Herald. There's no Drake. You just took the mid lane turret, and you have no waves pushing to any other turret within your vicinity. Go take the buffs, because that's what the enemy is going to be taking, and that sort of advantage that buffs give can make a big difference in team fights. Not to mention, of course, the red buff does heal you quite a bit. It has a nice regen on it, so able to reset any sort of skirmishes, especially if you're caught out and you win. You can reset, don't have to go back to base if you have the red buff. That's going to be taken away completely from UCI. So nice pickup by Boyru. Nice awareness, knowing that they had nothing else to go for. Just going to take every advantage that he can. I try to take this into a decent lead coming into mid-game. We're hitting the 20-minute mark now. Rift Herald is now off of the map. It was not taken this time around. The Drakes have been heavily focused, and Mirror Knight and Frozen Koalia been battling out this entire time, and it looks like Mirror Knight's finally going to be scaling up with the items to be able to duel him back.
Sunfire Shen is just such a bully. I love it. I love seeing it. Makes the tower dives a little bit harder, or even just under tower pressuring a little bit harder for any champion that's going to come out with the Sunfire. But look at this. He's come in. The flash taunt. A beautiful combination. And Frozen Koalia with no tower to retreat to means it's actually just taken out by Boyru on the red buff tick there from earlier. We were talking about how it was important. Well, look at that. Now, in the meantime, the Featherstorm from Notbaka just to reset, just to get away from Luminous here, but they want to find a way back into the fight. Notbaka has to reconsider, though, as he is shut down. That is the 6th kill out of 12 coming out. Credit to Luminous. This guy is playing insanely this game. And now with the Baron here, this could be troublesome. They've got the ADC dead. They've got the top laner as well. Now, Frozen Koalia will have the teleport, but they denied enough vision. Yeah, this is very likely the uncontested Baron. Luminous can do a lot to zone out, and look at how quickly that goes down. The Tiamat Lee Sin, the Twin Fang from Cassio, the Baron at 21.5 minutes coming out for UBC as they take themselves a commanding lead at this game.
And not to mention, you also had Kaisa there, does a lot of damage to the Baron, and you have the Mountain Drake as well. Nice pickup by UBC. Once again, just playing to their advantages. Even if they lose a team fight, they still get the objectives. They only have two turrets right now, but with this Baron, they're going to be getting a couple more, I believe anyways. If they do not, and something went horribly wrong in their game plan. Makoto, though, he's going to come back with a Gwinsu's Rage Blade. I think they might have actually had that in the last team fight, so Gwinsu's Rage Blade got changed around. Not a great first item, pretty decent second item, great third item. Makoto is just going to prioritize that on the third go here, just to get those extra stats going on his on the Kaisa kit here, especially with that sniper. Now we have Boyru getting in the face of Zud. Don't want to do that, but still going to withstand it a little bit here.
Baron Tiamat Sunfire means Shen does not worry about minions at all. He is 0-0-5. Which there are a lot worse things you can be as a Shen, let me tell you. Coming online with the split push. The Sterix gauge as well just means he's in really good shape. Frozen Koalia maintaining a safe distance this time, knows that Mirror Knight has the split pushing power, and probably only going to feel good about fighting this out when in Mega Gnar mode, which of course is exceedingly temporary. Actually has to hop out of that one. And meanwhile on the top side, the blue tower is taken out and away, which means UCI will be down in a deficit of 2 towers as their last outer falls. How do they break the siege now? We talked about a potential 1-3-1 from UCI if they got the split push, but the 4-1 is insane already, and Mirror Knight with the Baron minions doing a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, you cannot fight in Baron minions. Those things will tear you apart, especially you have only one cloth. Well, you have Ninja Tab Eyes, that's great. They actually got a slight nerf to it, but you also have a Chain Vest. It's not really doing too much now. UBC with this Barons, the Baron and Power minions, they're absolutely destroying the towers of UCI, and the champions at that too. Nobody can really contest into this right now. Luminous is so powerful, has the Archangel Staff, has a Rod of Ages already stacked, and Umbrella Nomicon. So there's really no touching Luminous. You have to outright catch Luminous out, or else Luminous is going to kill you.
And he has such a defense structure here as well.
Yeah.
Ruggies has been playing pretty well with that Taric ultimate just to be popping it off at the right amount of time to buy those crucial seconds. Luminous already shown this game. You can do a lot with those seconds, and oh no, it's a death brush. Are you kidding me? It does not get found out. Or it does get found out, rather. It does not come through to fruition.
Yeah, Lantern's going to show the way there, and that way is going to show that there are a lot of oppositions in the way. That Infernal Drake is going to be completely blocked off. Nice miasma by Luminous over the wall. Third Drake for UBC, going to be able to pick up that one, and it's going to be the Infernal Drake, which is going to be huge right now. At the 25-minute mark, that means that Infernal Drake is coming online already, especially for Luminous, as it does the percent damage increase. And when you have as much damage as Luminous, that's going to just mean that much more.
Luminous, Mirror Knight, and Makoto are all going to feel the benefits of this one. It's only briefly Boyru trailing on that one, but look at this. The hook lands onto Makoto. He's out of that one. Box is down. Tower's down as well as Russian guy follows suit and continues this spree of death. UBC are just taking everything right now, and they spend too much time on Ruggies. That means the double kill option from Luminous, and a double kill as well from Makoto. 4 go down, and only Frozen left alive as he was just dealing with the top lane split push, but the 4v4 too strong out of the side of UBC. Now Baron is expired, and it's only a couple cannon minions here, but they might try to push this one on through anyway. They know they can tank out, so one tower going to be absolutely taken down for sure. The second one likely to follow suit as well, and Frozen in no position to hold this one. I think they've done this one, Beck, as they do take game number 1 out and away. 25.5 minutes, 16-7 UBC with a 12k gold lead. Absolutely demolished this game.
Yeah, very decisive victory for University of British Columbia. Like you were talking about earlier, that maybe the influence of the varsity team coming off onto the JV team, they're playing very well, like way above the standard of UCI. So props to them. Of course, UCI, they have one game to come back in right now. This is a best of 3. Let's not forget that. But man, that was kind of a demolishing by UBC. They faltered a little bit, as you would expect from a JV team, but they were able to recover very well and secure the objectives extraordinarily well as also.
I mean, yeah, they really did play the objective game to a T. I really have to put a lot of that praise onto Makoto.
Yeah.
I feel like he was setting up for his team there. I mean, the initial Dragon early on, he had a lot to do with the first Drake, and then coming around through to the rest of it, the towers he was able to find while the rest of the team was keeping everyone from UCI busy. Now, of course, it's not about whether or not you fall down. It's about how you get back up. And so that's UCI's objective here. We talk about a strong varsity presence bleeding over into the JV. Well, UCI should be pretty familiar with that. They are the reigning varsity Western champions right now. They did win out the West in style over SFU there.
Yeah.
So another JV contender there. A big surprise with these schools. We've been talking about it, harping on it a little bit. So we'll see now what UCI can do. Maybe talk with some of their analysts, some of their support staff, say, hey, you know, what's the next move here? How do we draft around this? How do we beat it? What were the problems? Let's break them down. But while they take a minute to break them down, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a minute to get reset, already in for game number 2. That does mean we'll be throwing it over to a quick break. Don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back with game number 2, UCI and UBC.